Okay, Dow, this has nothing to do with comics, but we are in LaGuardia Airport, where we've been for a while, and we'll be here for
a while.
5 more hours minimum. There's a nor'easter coming in that's delaying
flights into LaGuardia, which means that there's no planes for us to leave LaGuardia.
As of right now, our flight is only delayed an hour, but that's as of right now.
And it's been 2 consecutive half-hour delays, so there's no saying that there won't be another half-hour delay, and then another half-hour delay after that. God knows how long.
Now, we came to the airport early to get on an earlier flight, and we're put on standby, and now we're on our 3rd standby flight.
I remember when we were getting to O'Hare on the flight out, it was, 5 in the morning. And I was seeing people at the baggage carousel waiting for their bags, and I thought, how does that happen? Like, how is a flight that early in the morning? Oh, it's because it's been hideously delayed from wherever it was coming from.
We're going to find out. But anyway, what I wanted to ask you about, since we have this time together.
Yes.
Our New York journey has basically ended.
More or less.
What was your favorite meal or favorite food you had while you were here?
That's a really good question. I mixed.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of that.
Yeah. Also, this is not our flight, so I'm going to stop listening. The food was a real mixture of, we eventually couldn't get into a bunch of places, so we were like, I don't know, Taco Bell, and a lot of stuff at the hotel, which had consistently good breakfast.
Yeah, we wound up doing the breakfast buffet at the Yotel Hotel in the Green Fig restaurant.
On the 4th floor.
On the 4th floor, 3 times.
Yeah.
It was suggested by David and Amber Harper.
Yeah, just a basic breakfast buffet. There was either pancakes or French toast, scrambled eggs, breakfast potatoes, bacon, sausage, probably something else. And then a selection of cereal and whatever else.
Yeah, you say selection, but today it was just Cheerios.
Again, not us.
Lot of background ambiance on this little snippet. Yeah. I will say,
honest to God, the Lato's pizza. This late night slice of pizza on a Wednesday night when I was exhausted and hungry and had been ill-fed by Lunar. That I was like.
You say ill-fed, not fed.
Well, I had two carrot sticks. And it was delicious. I mean, I was starving, and it was greasy and cheesy and hot, and it was good. It was so good.
I can't say the same because I waited a much longer amount of time to eat mine, so it was cold when I got to it.
Mine was starving man stuff, so it's everything tastes good.
Yeah.
It's calories.
Yeah.
It's ingesting food.
I will say that the pancakes that they had at the Green Fig were...
Only had those one day, unfortunately.
Yeah, they were only available one day. Yeah, but they were great. They were small. They were fluffy. They were very buttery. I really enjoyed them, and I was hoping that they'd have them again, but we didn't do it.
Honestly, food overall I thought was pretty good. I thought that the bagel from Broad Nosh was pretty good.
Broad Nosh. We remembered it this time.
We passed by it. Broad Nosh. Did we went out to dinner a couple of nights?
We went out to dinner to Don Giovanni's.
Right, which was good. Good pasta. I thought it was good.
Yeah, so it's no secret that I love Club Lago in River North in Chicago.
Weird, it's never come up.
And I thought, well, I love Lago's chicken marsala. Let me try it somewhere else. I didn't come close to touching Lago's. Lago's is so much better. I didn't even finish it.
That's a shame.
We a lot of con food.
Yeah.
A lot of, hot dogs on the first day.
Yeah.
Chicken nuggets.
I mean, my dinner Friday
hamburger.
night was popcorn, hot dog, and soda at the AMC.
Yeah.
That was it. That was what I ate.
Oh, right. I went to Virgil's Barbecue on Friday and had a really good pulled pork sandwich and fried pickles. And then I had fries, but I really didn't eat them.
Sure.
We tried to go to different places in Times Square, but it was so packed.
Yeah. Just no seating, and we were not going to just stand there and eat. We were partly looking for something to eat so we could find a place to sit down.
And usually we try to, I personally try to visit places I don't have here, like a Don Giovanni's, like a Virgil's.
Right.
Green Fig counts.
Yeah.
Broadnosh counts.
Sure.
But we also wound up at a Red Lobster.
Yeah, and then a Taco Bell the next day because we just couldn't get... Everything was just super crowded.
Yeah. Yeah, so this wasn't a culinary adventure,
Yeah.
but I have no complaints about the food.
Yeah, I certainly think if like the weather was a little bit more accommodating, if it wasn't so like, cold, windy, and rainy the last couple of days, I think we would have ventured out a little bit more. But honestly, we were so exhausted and tired, and cars were out of the question because everything was taking forever.
Yeah, and all the traffic and all the construction and all the paving and the
everything
delays.
sort of needed to be within walking distance. If we felt more adventurous, we might have, hopped on the subway or whatever and gone to wherever we needed to go. But I don't think either of us was like so dying to get out of the neighborhood that we needed to do that.
Yeah. One of the things that I liked was that we were in Hell's Kitchen, but we were very close to Times Square. And after the first 2 days walking around, like it clicked in my head. I'm like, oh, this is how you get to Times Square. This is how you get around Times Square. And I didn't feel like I was lost all the time.
Right.
Frequently, I'd walk out of a building and say, which way is the right direction? And I don't have a good sense of direction. I can't always tell you where north is or anything like that. But I felt confident in the small areas we were going through that we could easily navigate them.
Yeah.
And it was, like Dal said, with no real car availability, or just the timing was terrible, as you heard from last episode.
And mostly, I remember us thinking when we were trying to plot stuff out before we left, was like, while things are kind of close together, it's fine to just take a lift or whatever. And it's like, oh no, taking a lift is way worse than walking because the street closures were so rampant that you would have no idea how long anything would take and how much it would cost and how long you'd even be waiting for a car.
And under different circumstances, walking the amount we did wouldn't have been as much.
Yeah.
Although, to be fair, I don't think I've ever done a 5-day convention before.
Oh man, me neither.
Even when we would set up at C2E2, it was 4 days.
Yeah.
Or maybe drop off Wednesday, come back, set up Thursday.
Right.
But, work it Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
And while
you get to go home each night.
Yeah. And while it is a tremendous amount of work, you're at the booth. You're not walking the show floor the whole time. And
There's
not
a difference between on your feet and walking all over the city.
Then you're not immediately leaving the convention you walked at for 8 hours to go walk to Times Square and then to walk home.
Yeah.
I wonder, let's say we're invited back next year to do the speech again.
Yeah.
A, we just do the same speech because it'd be a different turnover. Sure. B, no one to remember. But I mean, what would you do differently?
It would be nice to. It would be nice to have gone out Tuesday. I would like to try that again.
Yeah.
To see if we could go out Tuesday afternoon or something.
Yeah. The reason we didn't was the flights were not accommodating.
Well, yeah. Again, we would have had to have somebody fill in, and if we could maybe plan further ahead, or hopefully beg, borrow, steal to get somebody to close out, that would be my preferred way of doing it instead of having to go super early Wednesday morning, which was doable but a gigantic pain in the ass. The other thing is conversely leaving earlier on Sunday. That's the big thing that's really hurting us right now, is that we had planned on doing the full day at the show and then leaving afterwards. So basically leaving straight from the convention center around when is closing time, 5 or 6, and then our flight was at 9. And now because of the weather, we are completely screwed. And God knows if we're even leaving this actual day. We might be leaving technically Monday morning. Who knows?
If this was the day we had planned right now, we'd be halfway to the airport.
Right. So yeah, I would definitely plan on leaving the show / the neighborhood around noon. I'd want to have a flight that was in the early afternoon, 2 or 3 or something,
Yeah.
That would be the main things I would do differently. Also, I'd probably want to venture further out into different boroughs. I use the CTA a lot at home, so I feel like I could figure out the subway system without too much trouble. There's also Google Maps that'll tell you what trains to get on and get off. That would be fun because it's Times Square, it's not a place you want to go back to again and again. It's a very touristy spot. It's very crowded. It's It's very annoying.
It's very crowded, and this is I would not consider this peak tourist season.
For sure. And there's other places, comic strip, other places that I'd love to be able to go to. There's shops in Brooklyn, there's shops in Queens, there's, all sorts of shops that would be fun to check out that, with a little bit of more scheduling and planning, I think that'd be where I'd probably go differently. Yourself, Patrick?
Because of our itinerary and how much we thought we were supposed to be there for the show, Wednesday we just did the lunar, we did Research Stuff all day. We did the lunar, it wasn't a mixer, we'll call it the lunar gathering. And then we made it to the Tiny Onion after party. And then we had our mixer on Thursday. I would have liked to have done more industry dinners.
Sure.
More dinners with more people, whether it be publishers or creators or friends of ours or whatever.
Although, I think we did. We did...
We did two.
Yeah, we did the Wednesday night one. Thursday night was kind of we could have booked something afterwards, but we
didn't know.
And also we were kind of exhausted.
And we thought our thing was till 10 o'clock.
Right.
And honestly, we thought there'd be more industry people there later.
Yeah, and then we did Saturday night, but Friday night you had plans, and that was...
Yeah.
So, we did as much as I think we could. It would have been fun to do something maybe during the day, but, everyone's busy during the day. It's hard to find time to be like, let's go off to get lunch or something. Good luck.
We did have good, I don't want to say meetings, but, we had good conversations with multiple Ignition people and multiple times.
Yeah.
We talked with 100% Soft.
I'm going to rush up there real quick and see what our standby says.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
I'll be back.
We talked with 100% Soft, and that wound up being a spontaneous but very valuable business conversation to have for, things we're going to do in the future at our shop. Every time we walk around Artist Alley, we always give out cards. We always talk to people about, if they're in Chicago. A fun little highlight, and I can't remember if I talked about this on what was literally yesterday for us, but it was last week's podcast for you, was Russell Dowderman. We talked to Russell Dowderman, recognized me from off-panel. He didn't know which one of Challengers it was me because he just listens. There's not really in the past, there hasn't been a video component, but then he was interviewed by David later this weekend and mentioned I met Patrick from Challengers, and that's always kind of cool. We did get a lot of strangers walking up to us who recognize us and mention they listen to the podcast, that they've been to the store when they're in town. We got to meet Christian from Walt's Comic Shop out of Berlin, Germany. And not only was it cool to meet him in person because he's a listener of this podcast and a patron of this podcast, he has, as a huge comic fan, he's made his own comic zine, not a comic magazine, a comics interview magazine, and he gave us a copy, and the cover art was by Luana Vecchio, who is at this show. So the next day, I went to her table and had her autograph it. Because I didn't have I love her art, and I love Lovestruck and Bolero.
Bolero especially.
But I had never, I don't own anything of hers really that gets signed. And coincidentally, we just talked to Franco from Art Balthazar and Franco. And flipping through Franco's original art, he had a Gene Simmons piece that I picked up. And so I gave it to Luana because she's a huge Kiss fan. I tried to explain and say I got it from that guy right down at the end of your aisle, point over to Franco, but I don't think she understood. Her English is very good, but it's not her first language.
Yeah, so you got the polite smile and nod.
Yeah. We gave her a card, but there were literally people who seemed receptive to getting the cards and who hopefully something comes of it.
Yeah.
But I do always think it's valuable to be seen in these contexts.
Sure.
And you can't see everybody. When I went back to Kyle Starks' table to get my coat tonight, Damon Hampton had walked up.
Oh, cool.
And Damon remembered meeting Kyle at Challengers for Free Comic Book Day when Peacemaker #1 had just come out.
Oh, nice.
And he remembered their conversation, and Kyle's like, why do I know your name? Well, anyway, this wasn't meant to be a whole like thing. I just wanted to ask you about the food.
Yeah.
What do you think of New York as a city?
I mean, it's tough to say just from Times Square. It's like saying, what's Chicago like from, like, Michigan Avenue? Like, you know, that's a part of the city, but it's not the part of the city I live in or spend a lot of time in. And
at least the Javits Center
diverse enough to have so many different neighborhoods. And obviously New York has a whole bunch of different boroughs, and that's kind of, each of those is going to feel very different and have very different, you know, taste to them, food-wise. So... yeah, I mean, I liked what I had, and what I had felt like New York food. Again, the pizza,
well, I just meant like New York as a city as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, I would not, even if I lived in New York, I wouldn't live in that part of New York.
Yeah.
Jesus.
The one thing I did like about the Javits Center as opposed to McCormick Place is while you're not staying like right next door to the Javits, because the hotels aren't right there, they're easily walkable, and you're easily walkable to do a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
At C2E2, let's say, if you are staying at the hotel that's right there, that's great, but you don't have as many entertainment options within walking distance.
Yeah, one, you're taking a car pretty much everywhere. You are a 10-minute drive at least from anything you'd probably want to do.
Unless you want to hang out in Chinatown all day.
Even then, like, you are taking the Green Line or whatever. You're taking, like... and the Green Line is not super close by to McCormick Place. That is a bit of a hike at the end of your day to get over to the train to then go, you know, further into the Loop, South Loop, or, you know, go further into the South Side. Like, not us.
We're not going to Cleveland?
No. It'd be close. We'd be on our way.
Yeah.
I liked where I was at and what I was doing, and obviously, you know, I wish the weather were a little different, and I wish I hadn't overestimated how I would do at the show and how quickly I would burn out on the experience of going to the convention with that many people. But otherwise, it was a good time. I think I'd like to get home.
Yeah. Ironically, I think I held up better than I expected I was going to.
Yeah.
I still crashed and burned.
Yeah.
But it took me longer to do it.
I think Saturday you were having it worse, and today I was having it worse.
Yeah.
So we kind of flipped around. Within a couple hours of being at the show, instantly regretted all of my plans for the day. Like, immediately. But also, so it's 3 names it just called.
Yeah.
We are 15 and 16 on standby, so we are probably not going to be getting on this one. Shake Shack. It's a pretty interesting dinner. How's that for food?
That's the thing. We definitely don't have Shake Shack near us.
Well, we do.
Do we?
I mean, not nearby. Like, the one I would normally go to would be around the corner from the Raising Cane's on the...
all right.
Madison? Yeah.
All right. Well, before we get off into too many more tangents, we will end this section here.
In the Midwest, you know the best is there waiting, so come and join the conversation. Highs to approved, fan and artist and creator too. This is how the challengers do. What? Keep the conversation moving along. Keep bringing comics, keep your local store strong. If it's hard, then it's a job for the challengers. What? Comics and conversation, y'all.
From Challengers Comics and Conversation in Chicago, this is Contest of Challengers, a comics industry business podcast with
Patrick Brower.
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 Patrick Brower and W. Dal Bush.
W. Dal Bush.
Dal Bush.
Dal.
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 W. Dal Bush.
Okay, look, we had an entire podcast last week that was mainly comic industry business centric.
Ish. Yeah.
I mean, it was a lot of what we did at New York Comic Con, but that was still
kind of a log on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But also the speech, which was important.
Okay, sure.
But then the first, 18 minutes of this episode was all, hey, what'd you think of the food in New York City?
Oh, yeah.
So there's that, right?
There's that.
But I wanted to talk about something I just read on the internet, and it's not at all related to comics.
Okay.
It is sensitive subject matter. It is slightly political, but this is the whole point of this, and it is not having to deal with anything related to specific people.
Okay.
Well, it does have specific people in it. So I read an article where on I don't know what show, a radio show. It was a radio show.
Okay.
And it was apparently it was Ivanka Trump talking about Jasmine Crockett.
Okay.
And she used some name calling that's popular today when discussing Jasmine Crockett. Things that are said by the party that Ivanka is affiliated with.
Okay.
Basically name calling and discrediting.
Oh, great.
But then there was a call-in to this show, and that call-in was Becky Lynch.
Oh, the man.
And Becky Lynch said that basically, and I'm paraphrasing because it's not in front of me, we don't do any good tearing people down. We need to lift each other up.
Okay.
So there's no place for name calling.
Sure.
And that was the brunt of the article.
Okay.
Now, because this was a Facebook post, the comments were horrific.
Yeah, I assume incredibly toxic.
The comments were mostly negative about Jasmine Crockett,
Okay.
and then a lot of negative comments about Becky Lynch and her heritage and what she should do instead of commenting.
Oh, gosh.
Now, I want to point out that, first and foremost, all of the comments missed the entire point of what Becky had said
Mhm.
because it was just nothing but name calling and degradation.
Yep.
And also, at no point did Becky pick a side.
Nope.
She just said,
just advocating for basic
Yeah.
humanity.
Yeah.
Which is essentially picking a side in 2025.
I also want to go back and say that this whole thing is fake. This never happened. This isn't a real situation.
Uh-huh.
Somebody just made this up and posted it. And there were even people in the comments who said the only proof and quotes I could find of this
Uh-huh.
was linking to websites that don't exist.
Great.
So it's all bullshit, right?
Uh-huh.
But also, for as much as I may not agree with things that Ivanka Trump does or says,
Sure.
never have I seen her resort to this kind of name calling in public. She's the one person in her family who doesn't sling that kind of stuff.
Okay.
In like the terms that were used
Sure.
are things that she wouldn't say. Now, please say what you want about Ivanka Trump. I welcome it all. But from the beginning, I'm like, this doesn't sound like something that she would say.
Uh-huh.
And then just the sheer vile and hatred in these comments for a completely fake article.
Yeah.
And nobody paid attention to the point.
No.
And it's just horrifying that this is what it breaks down to.
Yep.
And it's both sides. It's not equally both sides.
No, I mean, it's just a general culture that seems
Yes.
toxic. Just in its entirety.
Yeah, I admit that it's easy to fall to outrage and name calling,
Mhm.
but specifically this week, there were things, and I'm being very vague about this,
Mm-hmm.
that had anybody else posted, I'd be like, well, this person is an idiot.
Sure.
But because it was somebody I know and someone that I care about who posted it, and I'm like, let me try and see from their side, or let me see what kind of abuse they're taking from this. And it was none, and that made me feel even worse.
Sure.
But at no point did I chime in.
No.
I wanted to.
Yeah.
It did, in fact, make me post things on my page that I had been meaning to anyway.
Yeah.
And it's too late for anybody listening to this, but with all of the No Kings protesting all around the country
Mhm.
this Saturday, we are going to do something at the store where if you bring in your signs
Mhm.
before or after the protests, we'll give you a discount.
Okay.
But I don't feel like anybody can make it in after the protests. And I don't feel like anybody wants to use their 20% before the protest to have to carry their stuff with them.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's a nice thing to do to try and support
Yeah.
the activities that are hopefully taking place on the.
I mean, I don't want it to be perceived as virtue signaling. We are trying to show our support for the people that are doing the
Right.
things we can't do because we are working at the time.
Yeah, I mean, as a store, there's kind of, you don't have a lot of levers that you can pull to support things like that.
Yeah.
Like all you can kind of do is like, hopefully make it a little easier on the people who are doing the hard work. Yeah, I guess.
All right. That's the political story over with
Okay.
for today.
There.
And now we're going to switch gears
Wow.
to
Smoothly.
my most favorite piece of unsolicited marketing help. What would you call this?
I don't know what you have.
You know, you've seen this.
Oh, yeah. I mean, marketing solicitation, I guess.
We get, as you all know, dozens of emails every week for better funding, loans, TikTok management, customer retention, shopping cart abandonment. I mean, this is much earlier in the day than we normally record.
Yeah.
And I've had like 6 already today.
I've already deleted a ton of stuff. I was going to look at my spam folder, but I already deleted it.
Yeah, and you're smart.
Because I usually wake up to like 12 spam emails that are, just generally like financing for the business or ways to like increase Shopify engagement or social media engagement or AI tools to manage our inventory or whatever. And it's all just pointless. And I never want to use any of it. And most of it does not seem to exhibit any knowledge of what our industry is whatsoever or how we operate. It's just blindly sending out millions of emails to anyone who could conceivably be an online retailer.
And these are emails, these are texts. And they always say like, oh, you can press this to opt out or just reply and we'll stop. But I just ignore all of them. I don't feel like I should have to do anything.
Nope. Shouldn't have to send an email saying, please stop sending me emails.
But then they keep sending emails saying, hey, I want to bump this to the top of your box. Or
you probably missed this because you're so busy.
Yeah, or have you had a minute to think about this? And it's the same email chain. And I want to respond to everyone, just all caps, eat a bag of dicks.
Yeah. Please leave me alone to do my job.
But we got one in the actual physical mail.
Wow.
And not only that, it's print. I have it right here in my hand. It's printed on a thick cardstock.
That's not great.
And it wasn't folded. It came in a 9x12 envelope.
Wow. That's expensive.
And they've taken screenshots of our website and printed out of the little Jenny Lewis versions of Patrick and Dow from the ChallengersComics.com website.
Logo.
And printed it. And I'm going to not give you the company's name, nor the person's name. Well, their first name is Brett. I'll give you Brett. And they're the president of this digital company.
Wow. President.
So there's a giant QR code on this that says book an appointment. But here it is. Here is the whole body of this marketing letter we received. Patrick, my name is Brett, and I'm the president of blah, blah, blah digital. I recently discovered your business, Challengers Comics, and noticed several points of alignment with our most successful clients.
I love points of alignment.
I wanted to take this opportunity to introduce myself and offer my assistance. We've included a few of our clients' case studies so you can look at some of the work we have done for them. I would also like to offer you additional insight on your competitors. Here we go. This is my favorite part.
Here are our competitors.
Grahamcrackers.com, 73.5K. ThirdCoastComics.com, 8.4K. ChallengersComics.com, 6.8K. ChicagoComics.com, 1.6K. What is that?
Yeah, there's nothing that says what the number column signifies. Is that impressions? Is that clicks? Is that like where and like the website's there, but it's like over what period of time and
what are you measuring?
What are these things? Like
are these impressions? Are these visits? Are these sales?
You're just throwing out numbers. And you're like, oh, I guess we're the third ranked after grahamcrackers.com and thirdcoast.com, but above chicagocomics.com. And it's like,
which seems ludicrous.
Yeah, whatever you're telling me, like I don't understand how this, like those rankings don't make any sense to me. So it's like, you're just trying to make me think like, wow, I'm so close to being second, but so far away from being first. And imagine if this company could help me, get those, whatever that is.
I look forward to talking to you soon, Brett, president, blah, 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 digital information.
Thanks, Brett.
Book an appointment. You waste this nicely printed full color sheet. It doesn't tell us anything what you do.
Yeah.
You wasted the money to mail this to us.
Yeah.
ChallengersComics.com, 6.8K.
Again, like, it's just clients' case studies and what are you offering to do and how are you, like, I don't need like an entire business plan or whatever, but I need a sense of like, what specifically are we talking about here? Several points of alignment with our most successful clients. And they want to offer their assistance. Doing what? Where? How? Like, there's no information in here. It's just your business isn't doing as well as your competitors and it could do better and we can help. In what way?
Are they implying that Graham Crackers is their client or just our competitor?
No, this is our competitors. We align with their most successful clients. They don't mention who those clients are or in what industries they operate in, just that we have several points of alignment with them. Yeah, this is for all the money spent on it compared to blindly sending emails that don't even get the name of our business right. This is completely opaque. There's no sense of like what this company is, what they do. It's just name of company, digital. Digital what? Like, I don't know if they think we're so stupid that we don't understand how like the internet works or what social media platforms are or what e-commerce platforms are or what marketing is or any of these things. Like, they're just talking to somebody who is 110 years old and doesn't even understand the internet exists. And it's just like, ooh, digital. They're a digital company.
I just figured it out.
The website.
If you've been to our store, have you seen A, the Challenger's clock behind the counter, which there's been several social media posts about in the last year about it, and B, the clocks that we have that represent different fictional comic book cities?
Mm-hmm.
They're all analog.
Yeah, it's true.
This company can get us digital.
Whoa, digital clocks? That
Yeah.
can't be a thing. You're just making that up.
I mean, I'm guessing.
Okay.
I don't know anything about
Maybe they just have a whole bunch of fingers that they're willing to sell us.
to hold up.
No, they're just fingers. The fingers will help your business. How? Well, you'd have to pay us to find out.
Huh.
How will your business improve with a whole bag of just fingers? I don't know. I'm not a digital company.
Now, obviously, you're not selling these fingers, but are they a variety of fingers, or are they same? They all have like the same ring finger?
Well, Patrick, I'll have to book an appointment.
I guess. Are they men and women's fingers or children's fingers? Are they all different race fingers?
I got a QR code.
I've got a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Can you
We're
have
having an appointment.
you have that?
I will
email.
tell you this
Can
about
book
the
an appointment,
fingers.
please?
I will tell you this about the fingers. There are several points of alignment with some of this company's biggest clients. So take that into account for the fingers.
What if? And I think I'm going to get you to book an appointment right now. They're chicken fingers.
That would be great, actually. I would book an appointment.
That's what I said. That's all we had to do. Hey, so we didn't talk about this as far as New York goes. And I'm sure
Any of the many announcements at the New York Comic Con itself?
Yeah, it's not about
You're
that.
right, we didn't.
I'm sure people are very eager to learn this. What did you buy?
Oh, what did I like? Chicken fingers. I bought chicken fingers.
Actually, you did.
I did. They were okay.
No, just one day. You got
Yeah, you didn't. I got a burger the next day. You didn't love them. I thought they were fine. And I mean, I understand that fine is also you didn't love them, but I think you were kind of like not crazy about them. And I was like, this is solid.
I also wanted regular fries, not waffle.
This is solid food court food. I mean, it's arguably better than what I've had at McCormick Place. I was actually just putting some stuff away near the Podcastitorium before we recorded because I had
In the podcast vault.
Yeah, we're back in the Podcastitorium. I bought.
You didn't notice the lack of announcements in the background?
Uh-huh.
I listened to that back. They're loud.
Very few planes are taking off in and around the Podcastitorium.
Not enough planes taking off.
Bro.
Enough at the
Smaller amount.
yeah.
The
There's a good chance you could hear helicopters in the background because the Podcastatorium still is in the city of Chicago, and there still are helicopters circling.
the things I bought a new sketchbook from Art Adams because I will almost always buy a sketchbook from Art Adams. I have not sat down and really poured over it, but it's a lot of like.
Also, I figured out where that charge was because he was part of Essential Sequential.
Oh, okay. It's a lot of like sketch covers that he's done and con commissions and things like that. They're great. It's the thing I like best about those sort of sketchbooks is it's frequently people asking him to draw stuff that he doesn't normally draw. So it's like, oh, you'll see a really bizarre head sketch of a Mirka Andolfo character.
Where is it?
It is not in this room. I said it.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not right there where it would go.
Because I set it aside because I want to go through it.
Sure.
And if I file it away, then it's not going to get gone through. I bought that. We went to Russell Donnerman's booth where I bought a pack of cards. Russell Donnerman for the X-Men books for a while did a series of like the old Jim Lee X-Men trading card style variant covers of all the then current X-Men characters at the end of the Krakoan run. And I thought those were very cool variant covers, but I'm not a variant cover guy. So while I appreciated them, I didn't like collect them or anything. He did as a set of trading cards, those covers. So reproducing the trading card homage variant covers as actual trading cards. It is a pack of, I think, 45, which is all of the variant covers. Plus there's like a 9-panel composition that's over 9 different cards.
Yeah, so when you'd put them in a card binder page.
Yeah, they look like one complete image. I don't remember what they were for. And then there's like a trading card checklist.
Did it come in a box?
No, it was just shrink wrapped.
I think you should have made a box.
And there's also 2 trading cards, one for Russell Dodderman and one for colorist Matthew Wilson.
Who, for the record,
There's more than one Matthew Wilson in the industry, as it turns out.
Matt Wilson was set up
Seated right next
to Russell Dodderman, which makes perfect sense because of what you just said.
Yeah, Matthew Wilson's colored a whole bunch of Russell Dodderman stuff.
So while we're waiting in line for Russell Dodderman, I look down, I'm like, oh man, we're at Matt Wilson's table.
Mhm.
I'm like, hey man, your work is incredible. You're one of the best in the business. And he's like, really? I go, yeah, David Harper talks about you all the time. I don't know if you're familiar with Off Panel or Sketch. He's like, he does? Really? I'm like, yeah, and I'm looking, then he goes, I'm not that Matt Wilson.
Mm-hmm. Different Matt Wilson.
This guy is just a comic artist named Matt Wilson.
He's done a bunch of variant covers and he has a real, like, if you've seen like News from the Fallout, it's kind of in that style.
Yeah. But he was sitting right next to Russell Dodderman. So come on. You're trying to confuse me. And it worked. Yeah. And Russell was taking his time with everybody. So I talked to this Matt Wilson for a while and he was very polite and very kind. I did not buy anything. No. Because he's not Matthew Wilson.
So I got the Art Adams sketchbook. I got the Russell Dodderman trading cards, which I looked on Southern Hobby. I'm like, oh, I'm going to get a bunch of those 9-panel
card pages.
Not pages, but like the frames.
Oh, I didn't know they made those.
Yeah, they do. So the thing is, they do 9, 6, and they also do 4. And 4 is great because there's 4 cards that are horizontal, not vertical. So I'll do the 4 is the own, and then I got from June Brigman a power pack print that she did. And I also bought a Transformer figure, the retro carded Sea Spray that came out a few months ago from Walmart. I was not able to pre-order it from Walmart in time, so I was glad that somebody had it. Slightly over what the Walmart charge was, but honestly, it wasn't like it was double what Walmart's.
He also didn't have to pay shipping.
I did not have to pay shipping. It fit in the suitcase, thankfully. I think, and we went to the Tamashii Nation store.
You already mentioned that last time.
Yeah, I bought a Commodore.
Also, that was not a purchase at the show.
Yes, it was a purchase in New York, but it was not a purchase at the show. I think that was it. I'm sure there was probably 1 or 2. Oh, I bought a couple Zenless Zone Zero stickers from somebody who was selling a bunch of anime and manga flavored merchandise.
Literal only 2 Zenless Zone Zero stickers he had.
Yeah, it's true.
And you weren't even that excited for them because they had phrases on them.
Oh, I was okay with the phrases.
Were you? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you didn't like the designs.
No, I think they're cute enough. Like, obviously.
You seemed slightly disappointed. As someone who knows you, I don't think he could tell.
No,
but I thought you're like, I'll settle for that.
Oh, no. I mean, if they were more expensive, I probably wouldn't have gotten them. If there were other designs that were maybe slightly different takes, I might have gone for them. But I think these were cute. And I think that, like, one of them is funnier than the other. I like them okay, especially for what I paid for them. I think that was it.
I want to jump in with a quick anecdote about dealing with artists. When hiring artists to do work for the store, whether it be a t-shirt design or a bookmark or a business card or whatever it is, I always say, let us know what you would charge. Traditionally, some artists that are better with their business pitch or with their invoicing or, that have set boilerplate contracts for you to sign or whatever,
mm-hmm.
Some people will start with, what is your budget for this project?
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is a fair question.
Yeah, you can either come at it one of 2 ways. You can either do the, like, what do you want to pay, or here's what I charge.
Right.
Like, but you want to start with a sense of, like, we are going to meet in the middle.
Sure.
This is a conversation.
Sure. So, but what I like, so often when an artist quotes a price,
mm-hmm.
or they say, well, what were you looking to spend? I always come back with, you know what your time is worth and what your value is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never going to tell you what to charge.
Right.
I'm also never going to tell you you're overpriced. But if I think that what you're asking is out of our budget, I will say, I'm sorry, that's out of our budget, and we'll go our separate ways.
Right.
But I'm never going to ask you to haggle,
Right.
because I don't think that's fair for somebody in the creative arts to have to sacrifice what their perceived worth because we don't want to pay it.
Sure.
But the number of times an artist, and it's, we don't work with giant companies, we're working with local people.
Right.
The number of times
One-on-one with
an artist will say, I was going to charge this. Is that too much? We can haggle if you want, or like I could lower it. And I always just come back with, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Tell me what you're worth.
I mean, you want it in the same way that when we sell stuff in the store,
Yeah.
if a book says $39.99, that's the price. You can buy it or you don't. Like, if you don't want to buy it, I totally understand. If you can't afford it or it's out of your price range, don't worry about it. I'm not going to be offended. Similarly, like, I don't need to hear from you like, I'd rather pay $30. Like, I'm sure you would, but this is a $40 book.
But at the same time, when an artist says, hey, it's $500, but I can go lower if you want, my instinct is always, fine, go lower.
Yeah.
But I'm never going to do that. I don't do that because I don't want to do that. And I don't.
Also, why would you? Like, if you think that what you're selling me via your work and your time is worth $500, how are you going to $400? Like, you're just taking less money? Why would you do that? Don't do that. Am I gonna are you gonna work less hard on it, or are you gonna do it faster? Like, I don't. Where does the savings come from on your end?
The same way that we spend all year telling people that comics are worth their cover price by not discounting things regularly, by not holding sales every other weekend, by not like, oh, it's first week of the month, all manga's on sale, or doing that kind of stuff.
Well, maybe you should wait until this artist is doing their once a year, 1 week sale.
By only doing one sale, we try to prioritize the fact that comics are worth their cover price.
Sure.
So I want artists to feel that their worth is the price that they're asking.
Mm-hmm.
Do I want it for less? Yeah, always. I'm a business person. Of course I do. But it's different when, like in my real life, I'm getting a shower door replaced because it needs to be replaced.
You're getting one for the shop?
No.
I
can only do one, and it's more important to do it in my home. But when that's a product and a service, this year I've done a bunch of little maintenance stuff like that. And every single time the salesperson is like, well, it's this, blah, blah, blah. And if I show the slightest hesitation, they always say, I can give you a discount. And I'll take a discount because it's an installation fee. And
But like the thing that always, like, I understand like the sales tool of that, and like, I'll take it, sure. But there's a thing in the back of my head that's always like, so if I hadn't expressed any hesitation, I would be paying too much.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the discount that you're giving me is baked into what you are always
100% it is.
This isn't like this is, $500 worth of materials and $500 worth of labor. But I really want to make the sale, so I'll take the hit and bring it down to like $400 for labor. No, it was always $400, and
it's how much
you
extra
tried charging $500, and then I expressed hesitation, and you came down to $400. So it's like, thank you, but also, when was this decided? Before you talked to me, before you gave me this estimate, I feel like it was.
It's like getting your oil changed. How often do you get away with just getting your oil changed? Because suddenly it's your brake fluid, and it's your fan belt, it's your AC filter, it's your wipers, it's like all these little things they hit you with. It's like, no, I just want my oil changed. That's fine. I mean, I grew up in a household that we always had to change the oil ourselves. Which is why I never do it as an adult anymore, because I don't want to have to. My God, the number of emails that have come in.
Oh, hey, the Wrestle Dream sale starts this weekend. That's the example we always use when it comes to you can discount things too often, is that Pro Wrestling Tees and shop at EW.com.
And that was going through my head as I was talking about it just now.
Offer sales basically every other week, always once a month on a pay-per-view weekend. So it's 20 to 25% off. And then probably one additional weekend over the month.
Definitely holiday,
like a holiday weekend.
Definitely a club.
If they don't line up with the pay-per-view, because sometimes like a pay-per-view of Labor Day weekend.
Or just night sale.
So they'll do 5 days of like the pay-per-view, but also the Labor Day weekend or Memorial Day or whatever. But what that means is that in my brain, the actual value of any Pro Wrestling Tees t-shirt is 20 to 25% less than what they're offering it for every other day of the month.
Yep.
Like that's overpriced to me now, even though that is the advertised retail price. Because in my mind, it's like, but if I wait like a week or two, it's 25% less. Why would I not do that? I don't need it that fast. None of the t-shirts, they're not going to sell out. They're printed to order. I'll just do one order a month. And, you know, yeah, that probably gets me ordering more t-shirts over the year than I would normally. But it's also like the general price feels like I'm being overcharged. So even when I'm not buying stuff, I just think you're insane to ask $30 when if I wait a couple weeks, I will get it for, you know, $27.50 less or whatever.
Pro Wrestling Tees has also taught me that I never want to buy a shirt at a live event, whether it be a concert or a convention or a wrestling show, because I like the soft style shirts.
Right.
And any printed in advance t-shirt, including our sale t-shirts, are just 100% cotton.
Yeah. The flip side of that, obviously, is that we have the advantage of working down the street more or less from Pro Wrestling Tees. So whenever we order something from their website,
Yeah, they're in Bucktown.
we just go get it. So we don't even pay shipping.
Right.
If you were somebody who was not able to get to Pro Wrestling Tees on a regular basis, you might feel more inclined to pick up a shirt at a show because you're just leaving with it. You know, while you can't pick your fabric, it's right there. And obviously, I'm not counting all of the different event exclusive shirts they will do, the I Was There shirts.
Which you cannot buy online.
Yeah. You can buy the front design. The back design that says you were there is only available at the venue.
Weirdly, I never care about a back design t-shirt.
Me neither. I don't usually just wear a t-shirt without another shirt over it. And I think you're the same way, Patrick.
That is correct. Okay, so going back to New York Comic-Con purchases.
What did you buy?
I'm going to try to remember that very thing.
Oh, golly.
A lot of this started because I always buy a sketchbook from Jeremy Bastian
Sure.
when I see him. And I remember that I missed a sketchbook recently. So when I saw him at the show, I bought both the 2025 and the 2024 sketchbook. I already had the 2024 sketchbook. I bought that in 2024. I don't know. Actually, I might have bought it. I think he didn't. When I saw him at C2E2 this year, he didn't have the 2025 sketchbook yet. So I bought the 2024.
Okay.
And then in my head, I remembered, oh, he was missing something. So it must not have been last year's. And I'll be honest, I completely forgot that I saw him at C2E2.
Sure.
And also New York.
Oh, no.
And I bought the exact same sketchbook.
Uh-oh.
It's fine. And then I also noticed that I have like sketchbooks of his from 2015, 2016, 2017, 2023, 2024. Like, where's this giant gap? He just must not have been at shows. So I bought 2 Jeremy Bastian sketchbooks. I bought 4 issues of Corinne Halbert's new small zine. I forget the title, The Serpent, and I forget what it was. I forget. Corinne's a former Chicagoan who now has moved to New York.
New York City.
This was her first ever New York Comic Con, and she did great. And she also works at Forbidden Planet Comics. So she's in our shoes now, really.
No, I'm sorry for her.
Bought a couple of volumes of Tales from the Road, the Headlock comic from Michael Kingston, a wrestling-themed stories co-written by wrestlers.
Oh, yeah.
And it turns out that, again, I already had volume 1 of that.
Uh-oh.
And I rebought 1 and added a 2 and a 3. I bought the Stilt zine from David Harper, his Stiltman zine, of course.
Of course.
I bought the New York Comic Con exclusive Wrestle Heist #1 Ashcan from Kyle Starks.
Cool.
And I'll be honest, the only 2 things I knew I was going to buy at the show were the Stilt zine and the Wrestle Heist Ashcan.
And those are the same table, just at different times.
Yep. Very happy with both of those. I'd already read Wrestle Heist because thank you, Kyle. And I already read Stilt zine because thank you, David. But happy to have them both. I have quite the sketch zine collection going over there.
Yeah.
I bought a Halloween Boy action figure from Dave Baker, which was pretty funny because we are at, you and I were at the Dave Baker and Nicole Gauche table. And I saw you looking at a box thing, but I was talking the whole time.
Right.
And in my head, your thing looked like Legos or whatever. And if you don't know what Halloween Boy is, you'll get to find out soon because Oni is going to be releasing the graphic novels for it.
Yep.
Because it's a self-published book that Dave Baker's been doing for a while. And right before we left, I'm like, hey, do you happen to have any of the Halloween Boy action figures?
Mhm.
And in fact, it was a thing you were playing with.
Yep. I was just looking at this cool. It's a very cool window box.
Yeah. And I didn't even make the connection.
I guess
So,
Boss Fight Studios, I think.
Yeah. Yep. So I bought Halloween Boy action figure.
Yep.
It's very well done.
Yeah, yeah.
It's kind of neat because it's like his childhood creation come to life.
Crazy.
That is this higher end action figure for it. I bought a couple of 100% soft enamel pins.
Some show exclusives.
Yeah, show exclusive
Wistful.
Captain America and a wistful Doctor Doom.
Mhm.
And trying to remember what else you had to carry for me. I was a pack mule most of the time, so I wore a backpack the whole time. And I do wish I would have taken the backpack off for photos because I hate seeing the straps. But it was such an ordeal to have to do that with the other stuff I was carrying. I did pay for 2 wrestler meet and greets. Both of them were very fun interactions.
Mhm.
Both of them I more than got my money's worth.
Yeah.
I'm going to cough. I got to meet and chat with RJ City, whose voice says both of our names at the start of this podcast.
Yep.
One of the things I can't do is I would love to just set my voice memos to record the interactions I get with these people,
Uh-huh.
but I can't because we also are using my phone to take the photos,
Oh, yeah.
and the phone would cut that out.
Just do it as a video. The whole thing as a video.
Nah, that seems,
Seems weird.
especially because I'm not paying for that. With RJ City, the 2 people in front of me, the one guy who was first, he was FaceTiming a friend of his, so he gave RJ the phone to talk to the friend. And then the girl who was in front of me saw that was a thing, so she did it with her best friend.
Mm-hmm.
So when it was my turn, I said to RJ, I'm like, hey man, I'm really sorry. I don't have a friend or a family member I can FaceTime with during this.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, why is that a thing? Why are people doing that now? I'm like, I just
Weird.
run the RJ Lover on, I guess.
That's a weird.
And he was wearing a denim shirt and I was wearing a denim jacket. So I said, but I did get the memo about the denim.
Mm-hmm.
So I wore denim. And then he looked me up and down and he goes, explain this. What's going on here? Because I had, a vest and a tie.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a vest? Are you wearing a vest? I'm like, I am wearing a vest. And a tie? Yeah. What's going on? Like, I'm a retailer. I'm here for business. Okay. But I mean, also, you deserve people looking professional.
Sure. Gonna get a photo taken,
Exactly. And he was so into it. He did his typical RJ over the shoulder pose.
Mhm.
But then we did he's like, let's do other ones. When he's like, put his hands on my shoulder, his chin on his hands kind of thing. Yeah, it came out really great. But because it's Pro Wrestling Tees and they're right around the corner, we know those guys.
Yep.
I was just chatting with one of the guys from it for a while
Mhm.
before it was time to get in line. Because I had time to kill on that show floor. Let me tell you what.
Yep.
And then I'm like, hey, so if I'm doing both RJ and Harley, is it 2 separate lines? He's like, not for you.
Oh.
But literally, because there was only a handful of people for RJ, I was done. And I'm like, I still need time to kill. I will go wait in line for Harley.
Mm-hmm.
I met Harley Cameron. I talked to her about her improv. We've seen her do live comedy.
Yep.
And just how fun she is. And she was really humble and I don't want to say flattered by it, but
I feel like this is the first meet and greet cycle where people are really excited to meet Harley Cameron.
yeah.
Like the last few months.
Harley Cameron, the
Wait.
person, not Harley Cameron, the knockout.
I don't know what that means.
I just mean, I don't mean knockout because that's what the TNA calls their women's division knockouts.
Uh-huh.
But I mean the very attractive woman.
Sure. This is somebody who, I think Harley Cameron, the pro wrestling performer, I think has really won people over in the last 4 or 5 months.
You hated her in the beginning.
Yeah. I mean, it was QTV and it was just a shitty gimmick. And they were really playing up how annoying she was. That was kind of the gimmick, was Harley's super annoying. But then eventually they really leaned into Harley's kind of ridiculous and they kept putting her with different characters. And it was just really funny and charming. And it just won people over. And so they then smartly started to leverage how ridiculous but charming Harley is, for how oblivious she is as a character about how extra she is. And that's really like I'm trying to think of like the pairing or character interaction where it really started to click for people. I mean, Mercedes Monet, but I feel like it was before that, but I can't remember who she was with right before that. Oh, it was Soraya.
Yeah.
It was when they stuck her with Soraya, and like Soraya kind of helped get Harley over. And then ever since then, Harley's helped everybody else get over. Like they've put her with a ton of people who maybe some needed it, some didn't need it, but every like interaction and storyline was great. So now you've got people who are going to see her at Pro Wrestling Tees at conventions because of how fun Harley has been on TV and how you want to meet her and tell her, thank you for getting so many other people over in that company.
And that's what I told her. I told her that she elevates everybody she works
She really does. To the degree that like sometimes when they start to like, they briefly look like they were kind of moving Harley away from Statlander. And it's like, I wouldn't do that yet. Like Statlander's got the belt and she's got feuds and she's doing good. But boy, you need the extra boost of Harley. Harley helps make that character very watchable as opposed to just watchable.
Directly after that, I found a fudge stand, and they sold all sorts of candy. So I bought some fudge-covered Oreos. So that was an important con purchase.
Yeah.
Comic related. Yep. And I'm trying to remember what else. What else did I get? Just going through all the business cards we got.
Yeah.
Separating them. Yeah, that's the gist of it, I think.
Yeah, I don't think either of us wanted to buy a lot of stuff.
I didn't really have the room.
Yeah, well, it was, expensive, and it's expensive being in New York City, and there's a lot of kind of demands on our time and things that we want to spend money on, and obviously that money has to come from somewhere. But two, we wanted to limit what we're taking back, because as it was, like a lot of the stuff that you had picked up, I had to then put in my suitcase.
Luckily you had a pretty empty suitcase.
I had to rearrange my stuff a little bit. When I came out to New York Comic Con, the suitcase I had was like maybe 2/3 full. So I definitely had space for, I don't think you mentioned this, your Russell Dodderman puzzle.
Oh, right. Yeah, I bought a Russell Dodderman puzzle. Yeah, very excited to
like that was a larger puzzle box, like 1,000-piece puzzle, but luckily I had room for it.
Yeah, and that was just thing I saw at his table and said, I want this. I didn't know he did this.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm not sure we mentioned it last time, but it's a puzzle of, Russell Dodderman has this cover design that he does where it's a character in one specific pose, but then he draws all their costumes over the same template. So you'll get a Cyclops cover that has Scott Summers and all of his different costumes over the years.
There were a lot.
And so the Russell Dodderman puzzle is 9 of those covers, I don't remember which characters they were, as one puzzle image. So it looks pretty cool. And I think it'll look cool when it's all done.
Yeah. I mean, it needs to be messed up and put back in a box.
No, you're not going to frame it? You should frame it.
No, I'm not a puzzle framer.
I think this one will look pretty cool.
Then I'll give it to you when it's all done.
No, thanks. You can do it yourself.
I said when it's done.
Yeah, but you can frame it and put it up in your house.
I don't want to.
Okay.
So yeah, luckily you had the room for that and Halloween Boy.
Mm-hmm.
And other books. The headlock books were like the last thing I bought.
Yeah.
So they went on top of my packed suitcase. Because the suitcase is already packed.
Sure.
And when they came out of the suitcase, they were a little bit round.
Oh, okay.
That's fine. Hey, totally fine. Totally fine. But yeah, this wasn't a let's buy stuff show, and it was definitely there are certain things, there's things over a certain size that I can't even look at.
Yeah, there was a couple prints that were at a booth that were like poster size, and it's like, I can't get these home. Like, there's no way. I can't roll them up enough. I fold them. So I just had to basically say, no, these I'm not going to get. But if they were something that was at C2E2, hopefully, maybe, it might be something I would just, take home on the train.
Sure.
Because it's very easy to just carry them on the green line.
Since we've been home, we each filled out the New York Comic Con after survey, which I did basically out of
obligation.
Yeah, obligation. Yeah.
So it's a very long survey.
It's a very long survey, and it really...
I was doing it at the store, which was a huge mistake, because while I had time to do some of the beginning parts, like fill out some things, by the halfway point, I was up against, I got to do a reorder, I got to go drop off my dry cleaning, and we were closing in 10 minutes. So it was a lot of anything that had hey, explain why you put this in there.
I skipped most of it. Yeah.
Skip
most of those.
I do not have time for this. You are asking for too much information.
The artists that I want to see at the show next year were Mike Zeck, Guru Hero, Sal Buscema.
I had Guru Hero, Sophie Campbell, and I cannot remember who the third one was. The third one definitely took me some time to look around and be like, who do I want to see that they haven't gotten? Because some of the names I would have suggested, it's like you already had Art Adams, you already had Adam Hughes, you already had some other people named Adam. Probably you're good. It was good, but yeah, Guru Hero obviously, and then I should put John Bogdanov. That's the one.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. Matt and Stephen Harris.
I already got stuff from Ed Stephen Harris. Like I don't need to see people more than once or twice. So like I got stuff from the people I would want to get stuff from.
Yeah, but you didn't meet N. Stephen Harris. You just got stuff from
That's
him.
true. I got it from, who is it, Keith Champagne?
I don't remember who we got it from.
I don't remember.
But we got a stack of them. Would you be excited to meet Paul Ryan?
Paul Ryan's still alive?
No, but that's why you'd be excited.
Yeah, I'm scared maybe. Excited possibly. Alarmed.
Mr. Ryan, could you possibly sign this Quizzman #1 for me, please? So down soon, I know I'm doing a very slow hand signing gesture.
Mr. Ryan, I see that your hand fell off. Let me get that for you. I have a bag of fingers. Don't worry about it.
Good callback.
You like that?
That was excellent. That'd be a perfect place to end. Were there any announcements that you wanted to touch over?
I feel like there's a couple things we could probably talk about. I will do the standard post-convention thing of me trying to scroll through.
But we definitely did
the Vertigo stuff was the big one, I think.
Yeah, but we definitely did talk about a lot of the stuff last week. We just don't remember what we talked about.
Yeah, I don't feel like we talked about a lot of the announcements because for some of them
we definitely talked about Vertigo.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go to the beat real quick and we're just going to go in reverse order. Oh, here's a big one. This isn't a convention thing, but it's a thing from today.
Oh, then I don't know about it.
Humanoids files for Chapter 7 bankruptcy.
Oh.
That is the U.S. version of Humanoids. There is a European version, which is, I guess, going through its own receivership problem.
Uh-oh.
But Chapter 7, for those who don't know it, is the worst bankruptcy, which is you're done, the whole company's liquidated, we're out of here. According to the Beat's coverage of this, Humanoids had $50,000 in assets and $5 to $10 million in, I don't know, debt, basically. So they were real bad. I don't know when we're going to have the Incal again, I guess is a way of saying this.
Yeah.
Somebody had called earlier in the week asking for Mobius stuff, and I had to explain, in the U.S., Mobius is weirdly impossible to get. Several different companies have the rights to different books, and most of the bigger books that you'd want to see and expect to see in the same way that, when you think of Katsuhiro Otomo, you're thinking of Akira, and, of course, Akira is in print. When you think of Mobius,
formats now,
you might be thinking of Blueberry, and good news, that's been out of print for 30 years. You can go to any other country in the world and find it localized. For whatever reason, in North America, you just can't. Don't know why. It does not seem to be the one that came over. So Dark Horse has some stuff. Humanoids has other stuff. Unfortunately, Humanoids has some of the bigger ones, like Incal, and some of the Jodorowsky stuff that Mobius worked on. And that is now probably going to be very unavailable for the foreseeable future until someone else picks up the rights to reproduce that stuff and re-release it, which hopefully will be sooner rather than later. And I'd love it to be a company that is more capable of, fully exploiting how much great Mobius stuff is out there that the U.S. market just does not have. It's ridiculous. But yeah, Humanoids looks like done for. Feel bad for anyone in the U.S. that was still working for that company.
Do you remember when they tried to pull out a superhero universe under Mark Waid's editorialship?
A lot of that stuff, I couldn't tell you which company was doing it. Yeah, I mean, the Vertigo thing is probably the big one. 10 new books, a lot of it's all reunited teams.
We talked about it last
doing good stuff. There was the bonus round for DCKO that was announced at the Jim Lee panel, maybe?
Jim Lee and Friends panel?
Yeah, Scott Snyder was there to talk about how February is going to see a bunch of new characters introduced to DCKO that are not DC characters. Homelander from The Boys.
Yeah, we talked about that last time.
Give me 1 second to scroll down a little bit.
I'm very sad that it wasn't
anything.
Power.
Slaughterverse is doing a DC crossover.
Yes, with the best possible title. In fact, when I told you that Tiny Onion was crossing over with DC Comics, and I was trying to have you guess what it was, once I gave you that it was Something is Killing the Children, you immediately said, oh, Swamp Thing is killing the children.
Yeah, because I feel like you work backwards from what is something that you could put in front of is killing the children, and it's like, well, Swamp Thing. It sounds like something. It's practically the same. It rhymes. Why would you not do that?
Yeah. Yeah, you got it in a second.
Yeah. DC announced that the follow-up to DC All Out is DC Next Level. I don't think we talked about that.
Oh, no, we didn't talk about those new titles.
There was an announcement of a bunch of creators, but the only, I think, actual, like, here is a book that is coming out creative team was Batwoman by Greg Rucka and Danny.
And Lobo.
So, again, I'm going off, like, the Beat stuff where they didn't announce it.
But we do know that it's Lobo, written by Scotty Young and drawn by Jorge Corona.
Yes. Although the Beat had it is, Scotty Young will draw Lobo. He will not.
That's okay. We just heard RJ City say that.
Cells.
Yeah, called Comic Panel Cells. And that they were drawn by Steve Orlando, who is the writer.
Yep. Excited about
And he was so proud of the fact that he got Steve Orlando reference.
Excited about the Greg Rucka Batwoman book. I think Danny's an interesting choice, kind of splitting the difference between J.H. Williams and Jock, who are kind of the two artists that have worked on the Greg Rucka part.
More the Jock style, more the noir style.
For sure. Heavier blacks and thinner lines and that kind of stuff.
Less the designy elements in the tight detail.
I'm really enjoying Cheetah and Cheshire that he's doing with Nicola Scott.
So fun.
It's so fun. And more than anything, I just kind of like the idea that this is a guy who felt like he was mistreated by the previous administration of DC. And now that it's different people in charge, he's willing to come back and try and like finish up some of the stories that he had to leave hanging when he left the company. And I think it's a nice conclusion for his like professional journey. And I hope he's having a better time now under the new leadership. And I hope that he's got more ideas in mind, because I think, that Greg Rucka era at DC was some of my favorite stuff. Maybe they'll get him on a Checkmate book now that Checkmate is kind of in the news.
No spoilers. Some of us haven't watched that show yet.
No spoilers, but...
And unfortunately, know that part of it already.
Yeah, and that's why I mentioned it, because there's some stuff that's just going to be unavoidable. There's a lot of typical, like, superhero media stuff where so much of it is like, here's what's coming up next. So some stuff is going to get spoiled because all they want to talk about is what they're going to be doing next, even in a teasing way to get fans excited.
It's a media tie-in. Other books from the next level are...
They showed titles.
They showed logos.
Yeah, well, titles.
Yeah.
Because some of the logos, they're all for titles. But then they also showed off, like, a list of creators, but didn't say, like, here's who's doing what. But the titles that they showed off were Batman Shadow the Bat, Firestorm the Nuclear Man, Zatanna,
Barbara Gordon
Lobo,
Barbara
Gordon Breakout, which is not a classic title or logo. It was just the thing they showed off. And then, like,
Aztec, the Ultimate Man.
Yeah, I skipped over that one.
Oh, cares.
But then the creator names were Jorge Corona and Scotty Young and Jamal Campbell and Tony Fleece and a bunch of other creators that I don't have in front of me right now because Beat didn't have that slide. But they all sound like they're interesting. And DC's done a lot of cool stuff where even books that I wasn't necessarily excited about on initial announcement, I get them in hand and I'm like, oh, this is great. This is super smart.
We've also learned that Joshua Williamson will be writing a new Legion title.
Yes. I think the other thing that I think might also be a Josh Williamson thing.
DC is on fire. Let's just say it.
Speaking of, I think it's Josh Williamson.
Yeah. Say it.
DC's on fire. Marvel announced a new Iron Man ongoing series.
Okay. I had not heard that.
It is coming out in January. It's drawn by Carmen Carnero, which is probably another way of saying Exceptional X-Men is probably done.
And also, it's going to be
written by Josh Williamson.
Really?
Yes. This is his quote. I'm a huge Iron Man fan, a massive Iron Man fan, and I knew it was time. I absolutely had to do this. Part of our tagline for this book is that Tony Stark is the most dangerous weapon in the Marvel Universe. When he went into that cave, Tony built the armor, but after I thought about it more, the armor wasn't what he built in the cave. Tony built Tony. The worst part about this announcement is the covers are all by Ryan Stegman, so thanks for that.
Oh, no.
Thanks for that, Marvel.
Does that mean Ryan Stegman's also designing the armor?
I don't know. There's a promotional variant by Adam Kubert.
It's hilarious that...
No, Carmen Carnero is the character designs and interior art are by Carmen Carnero.
May I see?
Yeah.
We
looks
just
like
got...
armor.
Oh.
This looks like Iron Man armor.
Yeah, okay.
It's yellow, but it looks like a suit of armor.
Because we just got the Marvel Legend announcement for the Blood Hunt Iron Man armor, which is now 2 armors back.
Mark 72.
Yeah, this is just movie Iron Man.
Probably.
Yeah. Okay. I don't... Carmen Carnero, I like their work, their older work.
Captain Marvel, that stuff.
Yeah, but ever since they did like Captain America and moving forward, it's been fine. Not exceptional.
Well, it actually was exceptional. I wasn't crazy.
I said exceptional on purpose.
Yeah, I wasn't crazy about that book. I thought it was the better of the 3 X-Men team books, but it still didn't really keep my interest long term.
Huh.
But yeah, she's doing Iron Man starting in January.
Go back to the Pep of the Rouse armor. That was the most. Well, I mean, the quote unquote current armor is the most unique armor they've done in forever.
Yeah,
because it was all analog. To go back to the earlier part of this,
I don't know if I have a beat post for this, but one of the things that was announced somewhere at one of the panels was Wade Wilson Deadpool.
Yeah, we knew that. That was Ben Percy.
Well, he told us that.
I've seen it.
Sure. I mean, they talked about it at one of the panels. It was officially announced that he told us when we ran into him, but then there was announced at a panel. And also there was an entry in PRH's system saying Wade Wilson Deadpool #1 because it's going to be coming out in January, but there were no creators or solicitation text or cover images. It was just...
Yeah, I read an article about all of the upcoming X books, and that was definitely one of them.
Yeah,
we know that's in February.
I don't know if I can find this because it was a huge...
We talked about all this last week as well.
Okay.
Because it was Magic and Colossus, and it was Cyclops, and it was the new Storm book.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some stuff that's new titles and some stuff that's old team coming in with slightly different options.
Like
which some are mini
Radek, Psylocke, or whatever.
I don't remember that one.
There was a new Psylocke book, something.
Okay.
I got that wrong.
But that's all. The publishing announcements are good, and there's a lot of... Oh, here we go. Shadows of Tomorrow is what it was called.
Yeah.
That is the 2026 branding for the X books.
From the Ashes.
Yeah, Generation X 23, and Rogue's got a miniseries. Cyclops has got a book.
Yeah.
Inglorious X-Force. Yeah, it's an interesting chunk of books. I don't know that any of them really call out to me, but fine. I hope people are still reading X books when 2026 rolls around. But yeah, that was kind of it for like the publishing news. I'm sure there was other minor stuff here and there, but New York almost has that San Diego thing of like there's so many other things going on that it feels like a lot of the announcements are in that week before when you have some bandwidth. And then once you hit the show, like some stuff will get announced at panels, but not a lot.
There was GalaxyCon St. Louis happening the same weekend last weekend.
Wow.
With a lot of creators there. It's Baltimore Comic-Con this weekend.
Is it really? Okay.
Yeah. The first week in November is GalaxyCon Milwaukee.
It's TFCon next weekend.
Yeah. Something every weekend.
Sure.
Including another episode of this podcast. Thanks for listening.
Keep reading comics.
This has been Contest of Challengers. Thanks for listening. Keep reading comics. Challengers is located at 1845 Northwestern Avenue in the Bucktown neighborhood of Chicago. 773-278-0155. Keep up to date with new releases and events at challengerscomics.com. And help fund this podcast at patreon.com/challengers.